Don't try to build a brand. Try to build personality into your company. Whenever a marketer hears the word brand, I think their brains completely break. They automatically think what they're doing shouldn't have any performance metrics to it at all. And then I think they look to brands that we think are strong. You might look at Nike or Coca-Cola or Tesla or whatever and think, oh, how do I build a brand like that? But that's so irrelevant to every single one of you listening to this podcast. So I think the word brand needs to be scribbled out. And I think we should be optimizing for company personalities. Because when you think about a personality, it's a lot more concrete. It's less abstract. It's more tangible because we all have a personality. And I think one of the most important things that a personality can do that a brand can't do is a personality can show up in different ways to different people in different times in different places. And that's what I think companies need to do to thrive in 2026 and beyond is not just have one core thing and message and that's who they are and that's immovable. I think brands need to show up differently on different channels, on different partnerships, on different placements. I think we need to be having a larger conversation about the context of how and when and where our brands show up in people's lives. So that's what we're going to dig into today on this episode of Tactical and Practical, which is brought to you by Intelligems, our one-stop shop for all of our split testing needs. Funny story about Intelligems that I hadn't told yet. When I was looking for a new job a couple months ago, every single company I interviewed with had an Intelligems account, but I don't think one of them knew how to use it the best way possible. And where I ended up, we're launching so many more split tests than we ever have, and they're leading to some immediate performance gains. So go listen to all my episodes about split testing stuff on your website. If you are stumped, if you don't know what to test, and intelligems.io is going to be the place where you test them all. All right, brand personality. I first want to give the example of me and my personality because I think that's going to really put into context how you should be thinking about building your brand's personality. For me, on a Tuesday morning when I'm recording a podcast, this is how I show up. I'm not wearing anything fancy, got a hat on, got a beard, have 4 bullet points of notes, and I'm going to riff the rest of it. But when I show up for a keynote at a conference, I'm probably not dressed too much nicer, but I'm wearing boots, I'm wearing a watch. Maybe I got a cowboy hat on instead of a baseball hat. And I'm much more prepared than I am for a podcast. And when I show up for dinner with my friends, I talk and dress and think differently than when I show up for dinner with my parents. And that's different from how when I show up for a dinner with a colleague. I'm not being fake. Every single one of those places and situations is true to who I am, but you show up differently in different places with different people in different context. So that's what I want you to start asking yourselves about your brand. Who is your brand on a Monday morning? How do they dress, talk, sleep, eat? What do they watch? What do they listen to? What are they creating? How do they feel about a Monday morning? And then I want you to ask yourself, what's your brand do on a Friday night? What events are they going to? What kind of restaurants are they eating at? Are they going to a concert? Are they going to a game? Are they hanging out with friends? Are they staying at home with their spouse? When you start to ask yourself questions about your brand, this is going to make crystal clear what your content strategy should be, what your influencer strategy should be, what your partnership and collaboration strategy should be. When you start asking yourself, not would this partnership be good for our brand, but would the personality of our company align with this partner we're looking at? Would they hang out on a Friday night? Would they golf together on a Saturday? That, I think, makes it really, really obvious and takes some of the mysticism and some of the abstractness out of what we are calling brand building today. So, homework for you. I want you to literally map out your brand's personality over a week from Monday morning to Sunday night. What do they do? What do they watch? What do they listen to? And then I want you to start to connect different situations to different channels. I think who your brand is on a Friday night should be reflected in your Instagram, in your brand's YouTube, in your TikTok. And I think who your brand is on a Monday morning should 100% show up in an email and an SMS campaign on a Monday morning to your customers. All of this probably ends up in ad content. But depending on the time of year, depending on which persona you are speaking to, you need to show up with the right context, the right timing, the right attire. And that's what I think people get so wrong these days. And that's where I see like such a clash between performance and brand. People say they want to build a premium brand, but then every single piece of ad content is lo-fi UGC. Why? That would be like me sending out a party invite that says like, "Hey, I'm having a cookout in my backyard. Come on over." And then when you get here, it's not a cookout. There's a tent, it's catered, everyone's in tuxes, and you're wearing jeans and a hoodie because you thought we were just having a fire in my backyard. So think about who your brand is, not as a brand, but as a personality. And then make sure when you are inviting people to come experience your brand, whether that's through an ad, whether it's an organic piece of content, whether it's an influencer activation, make sure the invite you're sending out matches the vibe that they're going to get when they show up to the party. So stop building brand, start building personality into your company's DNA, and make sure you are showing up in the right personality in every single context with everything you do. This is going to make everything you want to do so much clearer because we're not thinking about la land of branding. We are thinking about who the brand is at a core, who they are as a person, and that's going to help unlock the next level of growth for you guys. Thanks so much for listening to Tactical and Practical. I'll see you next time.